This morning, the National Baseball Hall of Fame announced 8 players who will be considered for inductance by the ERA Committee, formerly known as the Veterans Committee. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Curt Schilling, Albert Belle, Don Mattingly, Fred McGriff, Dale Murphy, and Rafael Palmeiro will each be under consideration. Any player who receives votes from the 12 members of the 16-person panel will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, along with any player selected by 75% of the voters on the Baseball Writers Association of America ballot. Bond, Clemens, and Schilling are among the most notable and long discussed of the group. After failing to reach 75% of the vote for the 10th year in a row, the trio dropped the writers' ballot last winter, ending their eligibility. Following their progress on the writers' stalls ballot, or in Schilling's case, when they try to remove themselves from the vote because their support has waned due to a series of controversial public statements, they immediately go to the ERA Committee. Will reconsider. At the end of the time in question. Clemens and Bonds are, of course, slam dunk Hall of Fame stats, but remain out of the Hall due to their association with performance-enhancing drugs. Both were named as alleged steroid users in the 2007 Mitchell Report. Palmeiro's Hove candidacy was also derailed by Ped Bonds, a suspension in his case for a failed 2005 trial that came months after he denied ever taking steroids in a congressional testimony last spring. Palmeiro spent 4 seasons on the writers' ballot but dropped out in 2014 after receiving less than the 5% of the vote required to remain in consideration. In 2007, Bailey fell below the 5% threshold for 2 seasons on the writers' ballot. Mattingly, McGriff, and Murphy all spent the maximum allotted time under the BA's discretion, but never exceeded the required 75% threshold. Mattingly's vote share reached 28.2% in its first year on the ballot. In his final year in 2019, Murphy topped with 23.2%, while McGriff's vote share jumped to 39.8%. The purpose of the ERA Committee is to include players who have fallen through the cracks in the BA ballot. It has historically cast a wider net for inclusion than the Writers Association. This year's crop of players is part of the contemporary baseball era, which considers players whose primary contributions to the game came from the 1980s. Voting will be held on 4th December. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so don't miss the upcoming videos. Thanks all.